Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
With the sudden arrival of the fallen angel Merno, the very survival of all life across the entire multiverse was now hanging in the balance, as the mighty and ruthless angel had now set his sights in destroying the very core of everything as we knew it, as his unforgiving and unpredictable nature became a threat to not only those who stood to oppose him, but to every living being across every universe as we've come to know. As the older of us angels, Merno was also the strongest, and so the fight for survival nearly came at a terrifying price, as Merno feared nothing and welcomed everyone as they stood against him, even going as far as to fight against mortals, gods, and even angels all at the same time, as Merno's very existence was not only a danger to the hierarchy of the gods, but he had also become a danger to himself as well. And as Merno feared nothing, he stood against the test of time as being the multiverse's greatest enemy until the aid of the Grand Priest, who was finally able to destroy Merno without leaving a single trace of him that was left behind. And though his death had come through both the Omni Kings and the Grand Priest by a way of erasing his very essence from all of history itself, I'm afraid that the aftermath of his impact on the multiverse has yet to reveal itself. And even though Merno is now gone, never to possibly return ever again, I fear that something even more sinister is waiting for us within the deepest and darkest reaches of the cosmos.
It's been a very long time, old friend. You've done us all a favor through your actions, Fallen One. This is all thanks to you. Now, our time has finally arrived. And now that we are awake, this would be the end of everything as you knew it.
As our story opens up within the demon realm, as there appears to be a gathering of some sorts with 4 individuals being shown discussing something, with an ominous scepter being shown placed in the middle, it was only from there where an individual named Giro went on to comment, "So that's what's going on. The exiled angel of legend, is that him? How was he able to survive and return from the judgments that was passed down by the gods?" she asks. "How was he resurrected?" with Jogo responding, "He never perished, Gira. He was always alive, left to rebuild himself in preparation for his war with the multiverse. It's been eons since he attempted to reign supreme over those deplorable gods he hated so much, but look at how it all came crashing down on him. He was foolish to have given those weaklings time to draw the Grand Minister into battle," Bakara says. And those around him there, Giro went on to ask, "the ones he fought earlier, they are not gods by blood, they're mortals, aren't they?" "Correct. Those surrounded by both the angels and the destroyers are of mortal blood," Toro responds. As they all happen to in fact watch how the Grand Priest was battling against Merno, it was only from there where Jogo went on to respond, "The fallen angel is truly impressive. I've never seen someone match the Grand Priest in battle, let alone go as far as to spill his own blood." "It was for naught, Jogo," Toro chimes in. "The angel's opportunity peaked before the Grand Minister's arrival with the Most High," he adds. "His lust for vengeance and the need to best his father in battle is what led him down the path to his ultimate downfall. So, it was his battle with the Most High that was the source of our awakening," Bakara went on to chime in. "Now it's starting to make sense. It was his power that shook the entirety of the demon realm." "Correct, but for now we are to remain in our humanoid mortal forms until we move ahead with our plans, Toro responds. His pride is what drove him to defeat. That much is clear, Gira chimes in. He was without question a powerhouse among his kind and was most certainly an anomaly to the world, but his quest to prove himself superior in battle is what led him to extinction. What a waste of power that was, Gira says. Just look at him, chained and awaiting death. And that there, so that is the Grand Minister's ultimate omni-power, is that right, Bakara asks? The difference between what he was and what he is couldn't be any more clear. Oh, it's as though he is beyond anyone's reach, including Merno's, who didn't stand a chance against him. Oh, the power between them is monumental, with Toro chiming in. With what we see, there is currently no mortal or divine being of any origin who can match the Grand Priest's true power, he says. And from what he mentioned before, he adds, it appears that those Omni Kings also bear a similar power to him as well. Well, of course, for now that is, Jogo responds. This battle that has been waged across the multiverse has certainly opened our eyes to a great many things, has it not? Indeed, Gira says, especially since we've never seen mortals who fought alongside gods and angels like this before. They are definitely worth looking into before the Dark One's great resurrection, she says. Merno proves to be worth standing with, but his attitude is what hinders a stable relationship with, even if he shares our ideology for the destruction of the gods, Gojo says. The angel's power was so great that he was even able to shatter through the fabric of space-time itself, Toro adds, thus affecting multiple realities and dimensions through his sheer presence alone. His power is too valuable for it to not be harvested, he says. But how will we be able to use him in any kind of way if the angel was destroyed by both the minister and the Omni Kings, Bakara asks. I've never seen such an attack like that before, so what are we to do if he's already dead? Well, that's easy, isn't it, Jogo asks. We'll just resurrect the fallen angel from the dead and extract his power from his body. The wish-granting orbs, remember? The Super Dragon Balls. Such objects are limitless in what they can be used for, right? So we'll just wish for Merno to return and have him finish what he started, so that way he could do the hard work for us before we destroy him, with Gira chiming in, except he can't be resurrected, you fool. The power that was used was to ensure that not even resurrection is possible. They wiped the angel clean from every known reality, gone without a trace, she says. And besides, you'd be foolish to wish a creature like him back to life. He is without alliance, so he would surely destroy us if he were to return. Perhaps Gira is right, Bakara says. Resurrecting such an unstable angel would surely lead to conflict if he doesn't align with our demands, he says, but surely the Super Dragon Balls could reverse his erasure, would it not? With Toro chiming in, only once have the Super Dragon Balls ever been brought into this realm and used by a demon, he says, and as a result, he now lies chained and sealed through the power of the gods. The objective is clear, Dark Lords. The Super Dragon Balls are to be collected immediately, Toro says. Though the fallen angel Merno has proved to be worthy of having on our side, if he cannot be wished back to life, then we are to extract what we can with the information we collect, Dark Masters. We are not to engage with any of them until the hour of the beast is struck. We are to move in silence and to remain undetected if we are to see our plans through until the end, he adds. In time, we will have our day, and the demon realm will consume all other lesser-known realities as we take our rightful places as the rulers of all, Toro says. No more will the demons be treated with such disrespect from the divine, and Merno's battle with the multiverse has proven their vulnerability. Oh, I can't wait to carve those revolting and sickening gods of destruction up, Gira says. Especially that hairless nuisance from the 7th, Beerus. I never liked his brash and overly confident attitude, she says. Oh, I'm dying to see them. Those destroyers think that because of their titles and rulership over a few universes means that they can walk all over us. Well, I can't wait need to spill their blood for all of the trouble they've caused. And what's more, Bakara says, are those lousy angels who watch over them. You can leave them to us, with Jogo responding, or at least feed them to the evil one once the great demon king is revived. Oh, he did always enjoy angels as food anyway, he says. It'll take time, but we'll find a way to match those angels in battle one way or another. Yes, and if somehow we fall short, Bakara says, you know what needs to be done if they get the better of us. It'll be just like what happened last time. Listen closely, Toro says. Our mission is to gather the Super Dragon Balls, as this is now our main priority. Once collected, we will proceed with the ritual following the Dark One's resurrection. If any form of conflict were to arrive at your doorstep, you are to take care of the situation immediately. And since the dimensional walls have been broken thanks to Merno, we are no longer bounded within the demon realm either. With Gira chiming in, those gods of destruction have grown slothful throughout the generations, but it's better to leave them be until our full power and magic is restored, she says. Each of us at our prime had no problem rivaling the gods in power, and even now, we should also be aware of the mortals they house who are just as strong as they are just to be safe. And let's not forget that since Merno's involvement, the angels can now also be given the free will to fight if they choose, she says. This is a risk that we should not be willing to take, at least not now, as Bakara went on to chime in, and once the gathering is complete, we will revive the great army of the demon realm as it once was for the king to command once he is awake. Though our world has mostly remained inactive until now, they will all soon know our name along with feeling our wrath once we make our presence known. Merno has given us exactly what we needed in order for us to learn through his actions, Toro says. And soon enough, we will not only go as far as to finish the war that he so eagerly started, but the fallen angel will return, only this time it will be done through our will, he says. As with an ominous demonic figure being shown smiling behind the silhouette of the once fallen angel Merno, it was only as the Dark Masters had continued to discuss this where Toro went on to add, it has been far too long since our master had walked these lands. We are to do what is needed for him to return to us. Our current forms should do just fine in hiding our power and identity from the multiverse, but even then, we cannot do without an army and without the Dark One leading its charge into the living worlds. He and Merno shared a great many things in common, Toro adds, only it was once believed that Merno was destroyed before the Dark One's slumber. That angel did us all a favor by revealing what our enemies are capable of, and so now that we know, we will proceed as intended, he says. And by the Dark One and Merno at our side, all will fall, Toro says. That much is assured. I can sense his presence from within the chamber, Jogo says. He waits for us. He knows. With Toro chiming in, then it's time. We will split off into groups of 2 for now, he says. The more time that is wasted, the stronger our enemies will continue to become. But that too will also soon change. Let them relax. Soon enough, we will have our time to play. As with the Dark Portal now being shown opening with all 4 Dark Masters being shown stepping through, it was only from there where Toro went on to add, come then, let the rise of the great demons begin. As all the while in the meantime, when then going back to planet Earth and seeing both Mr. Popo and Dende visibly nervous, it would only appear as though something seems to be going down on Kame's lookout as Mr. Popo went on to respond, oh dear, oh, what an intense battle, they'll destroy everything if something isn't done to stop them from fighting. Yeah, but they aren't going to listen if we tell them to stop, Dende says. Even though they're both training inside, everything here on the lookout is falling apart. Oh, the chamber is sealed, Mr. Popo says, and it's been far longer than a day since they've been inside. If they don't slow down, I'm afraid this will have a ripple effect on Earth as well, he says. Goku! Vegeta! You're going to destroy the entire lookout! You're putting the entire planet at risk! But then, from out of nowhere, the time chamber door was then shown getting blown off its hinges and landing right in front of Mr. Popo and Dende, as the sheer intensity of Goku and Vegeta's fight had now made its way outside onto the surface, that was when Mr. Popo went on to shout, "Oh, Kami, the chamber door!" And through it, we only from there see both Primal Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and Master the Ultra Instinct Goku fighting, in which the battle itself was so intense that both warriors were then shown having to levitate above the lookout. It was only upon Vegeta being shown grabbing onto one of Goku's punches where Vegeta went on to ask, "Surely you can hit a little faster than that, can't you? Or are my reflexes simply too good for you to keep up with, Kakarot?" In which the moment Vegeta had attempted in striking Goku with Goku now being shown dodging, it was only from there where Goku went on to respond, "Actually, Vegeta, I'm sure that just like you are, I'm simply testing the waters to see if I can find my opening. And I think I just found it, Vegeta." In which upon the moment of impact with Goku now being shown kneeing Vegeta in the chin, Vegeta had then immediately retaliated by tackling Goku down into the lookout by shouting, "Oh yeah, well here's mine too!" As with the sheer impact of Vegeta's tackle now being shown having to be effective enough in driving Goku through the lookout, this itself had now gone as far as to leave both Mr. Popo and Dende completely baffled as Mr. Popo went on to shout, "Oh goodness, the lookout, Kami! Vegeta smashed Goku right through it! Oh, what the hell is wrong with those two?" Dende asks. "Are they not going to be satisfied until everything is destroyed? Oh, that was close. When will they learn that this isn't a place where they could just make a mess on? What happened to the good old days where this place was actually respected a bit more, Mr. Popo?" In which with Goku now being shown having to understand the gravity of the situation, that was when Goku went on to say to himself, "Damn it, his grip is unyielding and I have no control of where my body is headed. He's got full sway of where we're going. I've got to act fast or I'm done for. Just to give you a fair warning," Vegeta went on to tell him, "this might hurt a bit, so I'm just letting you know now so that way it doesn't surprise you." In which with Vegeta now being shown having to ram Goku's body over and over again through several different canyons and mountains, it was only upon Vegeta continuously pushing Goku forward where Vegeta went on to continue, "I told you that you and I are going to settle the score once that angel was destroyed, and so now here we are," he shouts. "The gap between our power couldn't be any more clear. I am the strongest between us. If that Merno has taught me anything," Vegeta adds, "it was no matter where we stand, there is always going to be another level above the ones we're on. And I will stop at nothing to climb even higher, beginning with your defeat." But then, it would only now appear as though Goku had enough, as Goku had gone in powering up to such an extent that it ultimately had liberated Vegeta's grip, with Goku now being shown punching Vegeta in the face, to where the sheer force behind Goku's punch alone was so tremendous that it ultimately had gone in sending Vegeta flying out into the distance, as all the while, we from there make our way on over to Beerus and Whis, who seem to be enjoying some ice cream, as Whis went on to comment, "Goodness, oh this is truly amazing. I think Bulma really outdid herself this time around, wouldn't you say?" With Beerus responding, "Well, this was just what I needed after dealing with your murderous, bloodlustful brother Merno of yours. I almost forgot what it felt like to have some of Earth's best tasting ice cream," he says. "A treat well deserved after everything we've been through here," Beerus says, "and I can't wait to have seconds." But then, it was only from that point where Beerus had gone as far as to hear something, as Beerus went on to ask, "Whis, what's that sound?" But then, from out of nowhere, in between both Beerus and Whis, we only from that point see how Vegeta had came crashing through the building and out through the other side. With both gods now being shown taken back from this, it was only from there where Whis went on to respond, "Well then, oh it seems as though there goes your answer, my lord. What in the world? That's Vegeta! Just what the hell is going on?" Beerus asks. "What happened to him? Where the hell does he get off interrupting my ice cream special? What gives?" "Well, my lord, if I had to take a random guess, I think we both know what's happening here. That much is clear," Whis says. "What do you mean?" Beerus asks. "Stop speaking in riddles and tell me what—" No, Beerus utters, my deliciously perfect ice cream sundae, it's ruined." As upon Beerus is shocked from out of nowhere through the same hole in which Vegeta had just came through, we only from there see how Master Ultra Instinct Goku was in hot pursuit in chasing after him, as Whis went on to add, "Oh, and there goes the other one. It was as I suspected," he says. "Those two are in the middle of training." "How could this possibly happen?" Beerus asks. "This was all I needed after everything I've been put through by that ridiculously powerful angel. My ice cream, they ruined everything." "Well, if it makes you feel any better," Whis went on to chime in, "I was actually able able to hold on to mine before Vegeta came crashing through. But Beerus was not having it, as Beerus from there went on to utter, "Now I'm angry. Those two were given the freedom to treat me however they wanted for the last time. There is not a single mortal in this universe who has ever ruined my desserts and lived to talk about it. Now you idiots have my attention." As all the while when then going back to the Demon Realm and seeing the Dark Masters now exit through one of their portals and confronting yet another demon, it was only upon the Chain Demon now having to observe the Dark Masters exiting through one of their portals where Giro went on to respond, well, would you look at that? Looks like our suspicions of him being alive and imprisoned is true after all. It's been a very long time, hasn't it, old friend? Toro went on to ask. It would seem as though the chains of the gods still bind you till this very day. Well, that will no longer be the case, Toro says. This prison that binds you will no longer be what holds you captive. With Gira chiming in, "Allow me to do the honors of liberating you from this prison, mighty commander. The Demon Realm's army waits for you," she says. "A great change has taken place and our great master's revival is soon at hand for him to lead us all into destroying the gods. Now come forth and rise through the fire again, Raiga." As seconds later, with Gira being shown having to cut down the gods' chains and now freeing this massive behemoth known as Raiga, it was only upon Raiga being shown having to be very aggravated as he was slowly beginning to remove the mask that was placed onto his face. It was only upon that very moment as Raiga was shown having to remove his mask where Raiga was shown having to let out a fearsome and tremendous roar down within the Demon Realm. As with the other Dark Masters having to observe this, that was when Bakara went on to comment, "Your fearsome tone has long been missed. Welcome back to us, Raiga. We are happy to see you still within our circle." With Raiga having to catch notice of this by responding, "Your voices, I recognize them. Can it really be you?" "It is," Raiga says, as he quickly from there went on to kneel on forth before the Dark Masters. That was when Raiga went on to continue, "I am at your leisure, great masters. It has been far too long, Master Toro. I am at your service." With Toro responding, "You are the first of many who we've considered unfreeing from the bond of the gods," he says. "We come here with great news. The one who imprisoned you is now dead. The fallen angel Merno was destroyed in a great battle that he went on to wage against the gods and the entire multiverse," Toro says. "He was nearly successful in his attempts but had failed. However, he is not the same angel as you remembered him being when he imprisoned us. He changed." With Raiga responding, "Changed? The evil that was brewing in his heart, did it consume him?" "It did," Toro responds, "but more on that later. He did us all a great favor through his actions, and this had now resulted in the Demon Realm's great awakening, which is why we are here. We will need for you to revive the great demon army," Toro says. "Though Merno's actions had resulted in his own destruction, we will now have the opportunity to finish what we had originally intended before his corruption. And here I was hoping we'd pay that angel a visit for what he's done to us," Raiga says. "So then the prophecy is true. The great revival of our leader is at last at our doorstep. I will see to it to revive Hell's army in the meantime. We will in the meantime," Toro adds, "gather the Super Dragon Balls to further our plans. You know what must be done here, Beast." With Raiga responding, "Understood. Then it shall be done." With Toro chiming in, "Soon the entire multiverse will be consumed by our world. Everything will be as it is here, and our rule over the gods will be at hand. Do what must be done, and we will return once it's all ready," Toro says. "We are counting on you to deliver to us a great and powerful army." With Raiga responding, "And they will wait for you once you arrive, masters." Now then, this should be rather fun. I haven't had the chance to do this in a very long time. I can feel you all slumbering beneath my feet. We have all rested long enough, my fellow demons, and so the time has finally come. And so now, my minions," Raiga shouts, "the great hour of our revival has finally drawn dawn. Rise, my demons, rise and take shape into what you once were. I call for your awakening, the great awakening of the mighty demon army. Come forth and breathe life again. As it was only then where dozens upon dozens of demons were now shown having to rise up from the ground, as Raigo went on to continue, you are now free, freed from your domains. Our time has finally come. Let the resurrection and revival of the great demon realm's reign over the entire multiverse begin. As with the great demon army now being shown having to be resurrected courtesy of Raiga, it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the Dark Master's Ultimate Resurrection manga chapter number 1 special then comes to a close. Now, this is it. The long-awaited and highly anticipated sequel to the story of Merno is now finally here, and it seems as though now, courtesy of the events following the battle involving Merno, that several different realms have now awakened, with the Demon Realm now serving as the priority, with 4 Dark Masters now being shown stepping forward. The question ultimately then becomes, who exactly are these 4 mysterious individuals that we see wanting to resurrect what seemingly appears to be that of a demon god, and what kind of history do these 4 particular Dark Masters actually share in common with Merno that not only warrant them in wanting to bring Merno back for their own selfish desires in spreading the demon realm out into the multiverse, but at the same time, with the implication now being before his great corruption that it was in fact Merno who had sealed off the demon realm before he had turned against the multiverse. What kind of unexplored history are we bound to be in for as this story continues, to where again, I want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for watching. As again, if you guys just so happen to also be new to this channel, then I do encourage you all to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon. That way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below if you guys cannot wait for manga chapter number 2. All of this and much more will also be available on my Patreon, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming, to where if you guys want to go on ahead and check out the story early before anyone else, then I do encourage you guys to become a member on Patreon. Again, I cannot wait to show you guys how this story is about to unfold, because trust me when I say this is not going to go in which some of you guys may believe it might be headed in. So again, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for your time, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace!
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.